just maybe just adding these bits and pieces, and then bringing out more of the more of what was on there. But the nice thing was that it's very nice to sort of get back from the Mr. Jisk, who's been used to listening to the mix that he did, and it was very nice to get his comment back. He was very pleased with it, so it's always nice when that happens, really. In fact, I've got his quote. I've got his quote here. What he actually, I think there's a bit of swearing on his quote, because he got a bit carried away. But I can't find it for now. But anyway, needless to say, he was very pleased with it.
Well, you've got I think as the radio guy and music player, I think it's very definitely a crossover hit. What about you, John Bon Jovi? I think it's got crossover potential into pop rock.
It has a lot of elements going for it, Stuart.
Right. Well, that's good to know.
And the thing that I like about this is going to seem so simple, but the thing that I like about this particular song, "Fallen," are the tom-toms at the end. It's very simple. It leads up to a very nice dramatic and simple ending for the song. I don't know if dramatic and simple are kind of a contradiction of terms. But it's a very, very nice touch.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those, actually, where I really loved working on it, and I didn't actually want to finish working on it, because I really enjoyed just listening to it and messing around with it. And, I actually didn't want to finish. I really was just enjoying working on it, which doesn't happen very often. But it's, and like I say, I'm not really a country, it's not really strictly country and western.
No.
It's got like a pop, kind of rock feel to it as well. So,
absolutely, and this leads us right into our next what I wanted to talk to you about, and we've got a couple of minutes left. I don't want to miss this. You're doing an awful lot of work now with indie artists, emerging artists. Tell us about your production, what you're doing, maybe even how artists can get in touch with you.
Yeah, well, people sort of find me on the internet, but the main website is Epps Music Productions.com, and people can get in touch with me on that. But actually, if you just Google Stuart Epps if I say Stuart in an American accent, then they can normally find me. But it's just been a great, it's been going for quite some time now, where I'm working with artists around the world doing this remote producing, I call it. Because many artists now have got studios in their own homes, and it's relatively easy to record music at home, but it's not always easy to put it together in a commercial fashion and make it sound like a professional piece of work. So, what I'm doing a lot of is taking people's home recordings and improving them over here and adding instruments or whatever I can do to make them better. And and sometimes that might even be just taking a guitar and voice or a piano and voice and then adding the whole rhythm track, adding the whole band. And it's a great way of working, I love it really, because in fact, talking to you now, I know we're talking down the phone, but I grew up with radio, people from the 50s. Sure. We all grew up listening to music coming through the airwaves, and it's just a great way to listen to music, I think. It's very magical.
Well, that leads us right into the next song which we need to get into before we run out of time. You told me this is a work in progress, so
it is,
tell us where you are real briefly in the few seconds we have left with Damien West.
Yeah, well, this is Damien West, young guy, great guy. He's primarily a guitarist, but he's got some great songs and pretty good voice, great voice as well. And we just put this together over a few weeks, and it's pretty much finished. It's just got a few more vocals to go on, some backing vocals, and a bit more mixing. But I just wanted to share it with everyone now. It's sounding pretty good, I think. Sounds sounds very American, or actually it's about a Canadian girl, but I think it relates to sounds pretty U.S. as well to me.
Yeah, be careful. Sometimes the Canadians don't like to be referred to as, something of an American being.
No, well, that's it. But when you think about the music, though, some of the best music's come from Canada.
Absolutely.
Some of my favorite artists.
Right. Stuart, we got to get running here, but I want to thank you so much for stopping by, sharing the music, the story of your CD about your years with Elton John from 1967 to 1970, and of course your work with all these amazing indie artists. Come back and see us again, Stuart. Always a pleasure.
I will, and if your listeners want to get in touch with me about production, just EppsMusicProductions.com, and we can chat.
Absolutely. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Stuart Epps. Here's his latest. It's by Damian West, called Canadian Girl.
She's coming over tonight, 'cause now I've seen the light.
worn out just listening to it. That's Canadian Girl. The gentleman's name is Damian West, another production from super producer Stuart Epps. And we thank Stuart for coming and spending time. It's late in the night over there. It's pushing midnight over there as we record this. We thank him for coming in and sharing his music, his artists, of course, his story. And be sure and check out his CD, which I'm sure you can find on his website, EppsMusic.com, I believe it is. Did I get that right, John Bon Jovial?
Yes, you did. Epps.
Okay.
Epps.
We don't want to misinform.
Epps Music Productions.
Epps Music Productions. Okay.
.com.
If you have any questions,
Stuart, if we've just butchered you, we apologize.
Drop me a line at david@TheDavidBowers.com, and we'll get back to you with the correct address. We don't want to give you the wrong address. Here it is, EppsMusicProductions.com, and you'll be able to get a hold of him there. Check out that book, that CD audio book. I know you're going to like that. And we got to get on out of here because we're almost out of time. John Bon Jovial, I think it's time to take us home.
I know. My mommy's calling. I've got to go home. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just spent another hour with us, and we sure appreciate it. You've been listening to the David Bowers Awards on WRFZ-FM in Rochester, New York, and also on Blog Talk Radio all around the world. The David Bowers is broadcast around the world from the studios of Computer Help USA in Naples, Florida, and also from the Valley of the Sun in Tempe, Arizona, and we are available free on Blog Talk Radio, also on YouTube, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spreaker, Amazon Alexa devices, as well as any other place that you like to go and get your podcasts. Be sure to click the follow link on our Blog Talk Radio page and like the David Bowers on Facebook. And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all those other silly social media platforms that are out there. Join us next week for the David Bowers Awards, Saturdays, 12 p.m. Eastern on WRFZ-FM 106.3 Rochester Free Radio, and on Blog Talk Radio, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 6 p.m. UTC for more great indie music and talk with the artists that make it happen. So, until next week, for the David Bowers, Nick the newly married geek, and myself, the legendary John Bon Jovial, we sure do appreciate you being with us, and we'll see you next week right here on the David Bowers Awards.